Whether you're flying across the country or driving to your Thanksgiving destination, the holiday hustle has begun.
It sure has. Today and Sunday, those are the peak travel days, and we have team coverage for you on the holiday travel rush. Howard Monroe is at 30th Street Station, and Wakisha Bailey joining us from Philadelphia International Airport.
And we begin with Wakisha at the airport, where people are getting through security pretty quickly at this hour. Good morning, Wakisha.
Good morning, Jim. Janelle. I mean, it is really unbelievable just how fast people are moving through this TSA security line. What a difference just a half hour makes. Now, we are back here with Heather Redford, and you were telling us earlier that people are moving through these lines.
Yeah, TSA has it down. This is their time of year, and they've got people going through the lines in 20 minutes or less.
Now, did you guys open up more lines this year or earlier?
It looks like they opened up a little bit earlier for the early morning flights, and they have more staff here. Definitely getting people through as quickly as they can, yeah.
Now, would you say that this is probably the busier time for today?
Early morning is always busy, but especially during the holidays, people want to get to their friends' families, or if they're going on vacation, they just want to get there. So early morning is definitely the busiest.
Now, earlier today, we were speaking with this one young lady. She's only 11 years old, and she was flying by herself. Is that possible?
Yes, you can fly as an unaccompanied minor. Parents get that taken care of with the airline. But we have a program now called the Wingmate Pass. So if you do have an unaccompanied minor that is flying by themselves, or even just a friend or relative, and you want to spend a little bit more time with them before they leave, you can go on our website, phl.org, and we have a Wingmate Pass program. You can sign up, you'll get security clearance, you'll get a digital pass the day that they're flying, and you'll go through security with them just like you were flying.
Wow. And now we're in the 6 o'clock hour, so when do you think that we're going to see these lines pick back up again?
It'll be steady all day, probably early afternoon again if there was anybody that wasn't able to get out of work today. When they're done for the day, probably flying out early afternoon, early evening, and but it'll be steady throughout the day.
Now, Heather, we always seem to talk to you, especially around this time of holiday, and I think you mentioned before that Thursday, Thanksgiving, is a pretty good day to fly as well.
Yes, Thursday is the quietest day out of the holiday period. I think there's maybe 40,000 people in and out of PHL. So if you haven't bought a ticket yet and you want a last-minute deal, you know, or you're thinking I'm going to go visit friends and family, Thursday's actually the day to go.
Wow. And anything last you want to say to our viewers watching today, headed out to the airport?
Get here early and get through security, and then you can get, you know, something to eat at one of our restaurants. Just relax before you get on your flight.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And Jim, Janelle, you heard her say it. Thursdays are really good days. I have not bought a ticket yet. I'm off tomorrow. I can definitely use a small little day vacation, a little sun. Any offers? Any offers?
Well, maybe from Jim we'll offer.
Why do I always pay for this stuff?
Oh, you paid for her to fly?
No, but it's always, that's the hinge.
Okay, I got you. Well, there's still time. An early Christmas present for Wakisha. All right, Wakisha. Good tips there, though, from you and Heather. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, let's now turn to Howard Monroe. He's monitoring the rails.
He's joining us live from 30th Street Station. How's it looking there at this hour, Howard? Good morning.
Well, you know, yeah, the trains, they are rolling. The first one rolled out to Harrisburg at about 5:20 this morning. They'll be going all day long to make sure folks can get to their family destinations in time for dinner. That's happening tomorrow. We're joined now this morning by Beth Toll, spokesperson for Amtrak. Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys are like a final machine here.
That's right. It's a little bit quiet now, but it's certainly picking up, and we expect thousands of people traveling this Thanksgiving week with Amtrak.
And what are you expecting? Is travel up this year on the rails?
It is. We're coming back to pre-pandemic levels. Last year we saw close to 116,000 passengers just traveling right here through Great 30th Street Station in Philadelphia, and we're expecting to meet or exceed that again this year.
And we know there was a storm that came in overnight and yesterday. Is that causing any issues? Are you seeing any issues on the rail?
Not at this time. Everything's running smoothly, and people are getting to where they want to go and getting there on time.
You know, obviously, rail has some benefits compared to flying, but there are some other issues that people should know before they get onto a train. What should they know?
So it's important to make sure that you arrive at least 30 minutes prior to your train's departure so that you can figure out which platform you're departing from, and just give yourself enough time to get acclimated. And if you haven't traveled with Amtrak in a while, just make sure you have enough time to get to where you want to go.
So sell me, what's the great benefit of taking a rail instead of flying?
So Amtrak has really large, spacious seats, no middle seat, plenty of leg room, and you can ride in comfort instead of sitting in traffic.
So, in comfort, isn't that a great way to travel?
Absolutely.
Beth, before I let you go, what's your favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner?
Probably the turkey.
The turkey, all right. I'm a cranberry sauce guy.
Okay, that's fair.
There we go. Okay, Beth, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah, so there you go. Make sure you arrive on time for your train and get on there, and there you go. You can have your turkey like Beth wants, or your cranberry sauce and stuffing. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All set to go. Thank you, Howard. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, the Department of Transportation has increased staffing for the holiday weekend. Inside the Operations Center in Cherry Hill, crews are closely monitoring a wall of monitors and traffic cameras. DOT crews are fully prepared to help stranded drivers as more people will travel by car this year than last Thanksgiving.
They're monitoring in real time our traffic patterns, any volume, any incidents, accidents that might come up.
New Jersey Department of Transportation is also advising drivers to avoid texting while driving. There are now 14 designated safe phone zones throughout New Jersey roadways where drivers can pull over safely to use a cell phone.